Today's topic is about Sinopharm vaccine. This vaccine is developed in China and WHO approved this vaccine on 7th of May 2021. Sinopharm vaccine is an inactivated vaccine. That is, they have taken the SARS-CoV-2 virus and inactivated it so that it cannot replicate. Now, this inactivated virus is injected in our body so that we can produce antibodies against this virus. This inactivated viral vaccine is a classical method of vaccine production. Indian vaccine Covaxin is also made on the same platform. In case of Sinopharm, 2 doses of the vaccine is required 4 weeks apart. In the phase 3 trial data, it was found that Sinopharm vaccine shows 78.1% efficacy. That is a good amount of protection, isn't it? However, if we dive deep into the data, we can find some drawbacks. In their phase 3 trial data, most of the participants were male, almost everyone was less than 60 years of age, and 100% of the trial participants were healthy, that is, no one had underlying health condition. One thing we have to note that when a vaccine is developed, it must give protection to everyone. Thus, if we don't include the vulnerables like the elderly people and the people with comorbidities who are most affected by the SARS-CoV-2, then it might be a problem in the real world when we vaccinate this group with this vaccine. Moreover, although Sinopharm has been approved in more than 50 countries, there is not much data available. I could find 2 studies, one from Hungary and another from Sri Lanka. The Hungary study talks about the antibody production after vaccination in different age and sex. And the other study, which is from Sri Lanka, they have seen the effect of Sinopharm on Delta and Beta variant. Remember, both the articles are not peer-reviewed yet. Let's see what they found. First, we will look at the Hungary study. In this study, they enrolled 450 participants and wanted to see how much neutralizing antibody is made after 2 doses of the Sinopharm vaccine. Neutralizing antibodies are antibodies which stop the virus from entering our cell. So, if we have more neutralizing antibody, then more virus will be stopped from entering the cell, thus less infection. However, remember, the efficacy percentage does not directly correlate to the neutralizing antibody. There is a relation between neutralizing antibody and efficacy, but there is not direct relation. So, in this study, they wanted to see the amount of neutralizing antibody depending upon sex and age. It was found that same amount of neutralizing antibody was produced in different sex. However, when they looked at the age, it was found that the amount of neutralizing antibody dropped as the age increased. About 25% of the participants did not have neutralizing antibody above 60 years of age, and above 80 years of age, 50% of the participants did not have any neutralizing antibody. We all know that as our age increases, the immunity system becomes weak. But 25% having not neutralizing antibody is really concerning. In case of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, it was found that only 10% of the oldest population group did not have any neutralizing antibody. But in case of Sinopharm, 50% of the participants did not have neutralizing antibody according to this Hungary study. Once an elderly person is vaccinated, he or she might get a false promise of protection. So, it might not be a good idea to vaccinate the elderly with the Sinopharm vaccine. However, we need much more studies to prove this. Let's now talk about the Sri Lanka study. This talks about the amount of neutralizing antibody produced against Delta and Beta variant compared to the original SARS-CoV-2 variant. 282 people were enrolled in the study, and it was found that 95% of the people produced neutralizing antibody after vaccination. However, here also the amount of neutralizing antibody decreased with age. According to this data, above 60 years, 93.3% of the participants had neutralizing antibody. This is quite different from the Hungary study. It was found that the vaccine imparts similar level of protection against Delta variant as those who were naturally infected. That is, the amount of antibody produced against Delta variant upon natural infection was similar to the amount of antibody produced against Delta variant upon vaccination. But the big and most important question is, does natural infection with Delta variant produce same amount of antibody as original strain? So if the antibody amount is same in both cases, then it is okay. But it was found that there was 1.3-fold reduction in the neutralizing antibody against Delta variant. For Beta variant, the amount was 10-fold reduced. So compared to Beta variant, Sinopharm gives more protection against Delta variant. Note that all vaccines have produced less neutralizing antibody against Delta variant. So this is quite obvious phenomenon. But now we have to see the number of reinfections, hospitalization and death after Sinopharm vaccination. Another arm of immune system is T cell response and memory B cells, and these are very important for long-term immunity. It was found that Sinopharm produced robust T cell response and memory B cells, but it was less than other vaccines like Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. So it seems that Sinopharm is a good vaccine, but it has certain limitations which you should consider. Especially with age, maybe the efficacy of the vaccine reduces a lot. That's it for today, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you.